Thing.
Right, so, yeah, hello. Right, we're alive.
We'll turn off the lights, will we?
Yeah. Then,
Because we're really grainy today.
oh,
Hi, everybody. Hello. 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 Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Dum,
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 dum.
hey, you've got one viewer.
Who's the viewer?
Hello, say hello,
Hello, Mr. Viewer or Mrs. Viewer, I should say.
Mrs. and Mr.
Or Ms. Ms. M-I-double-S. I don't think there are any other. Oh my God! Now there could be like hundreds.
Yeah. Just say hello, viewer.
Hello, viewer.
Yeah.
Easier.
Yeah.
Hi.
Say hello.
Before we get ourselves into complete and utter trouble
Yeah.
in the first 58 seconds of the stream.
Yeah.
So live stream at 3:15 is our new, what would you call it?
Hobby. YouTube hobby.
Yeah,
Our new,
it's a hobby, I guess.
yeah, our new thing. Our new,
So what's happening out in the world with our viewer? Would they like to tell us in the comments? We'd love to hear, you know. Make sure you hit that like.
the funny thing is I, because we've got like a background that we can see ourselves, and we've got a camera, like, so I look at myself on the thing. So if I don't look at the camera, it's just
Funny thing is.
Yeah, it's just no, it's just.
The funny thing is, I recognised that on the last stream, so now I'm trying to look at the camera, but I've got to also focus on what's happening on the screen sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's just a learning curve, isn't it?
Mm.
At the end of the day, you live and learn.
Yes.
So how's your week?
My week was perfect. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Had a good week. Yeah, good.
I had a pretty good week myself.
Cool.
I can't really complain.
Yes.
I got to mess around with some tools. I was bought 2 new sawhorses.
Okay.
And they seem quite amazing compared to the last 2 plastic ones that I've had.
Yeah.
For, I don't know,
That's cool.
10 years anyway.
Wow.
Which I used to actually worry about putting doors on top of them in case they sort of spread and then crash to the ground with the weight of the door on them.
Yeah.
So I decided, well, I'm doing worktops in the kitchen next week. And I am going to invest some money in a few sturdy sawhorses, they're called.
Is it the saw that goes onto a saw? No.
No, it's like a pop-up trestle stand. And then you can put anything, you can put a piece of a door or a piece of plywood or a piece of wood on top of these two, and then you can use a saw to saw on so it holds it steady. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's cool.
And yeah, I might even do a little review on them.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that Axminster Tools would have them in stock, but they didn't have any for 2 to 3 weeks.
What's that?
Because every person went out and bought all their stock. So they're waiting to get new ones made and sent out. Which tells you how busy stuff is.
Yeah.
But that's okay for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week I was doing a piece of block paving which had sunk and was oiled, and I did a little. I'm going to do a little video on that. What videos did I put up last week? One was about the drawers that I did in the van.
Mm-hmm.
Did a little video on that.
And then you did the flooring, the wood flooring. Was that last week?
And then we did that last
Yeah.
week as well, didn't we? The last episode of getting that floor sorted in Sam's house. So,
Yeah.
today I went to pick Alexandra up, and I had this T-shirt on, which was one of my old TACA. This group here, TACA. I used to work for TACA and the Wood Group. These guys on different platforms. So this is the Cormorant Alpha engineering platform, which I worked on for quite a while, doing water injection. Was it water injection? No, it wasn't on the Cormorant Alpha. It was just basic pipe swapping, stuff like that. Heavy engineering. And Sam just said to me, he said, "Oh, those T-shirts are cool." I was like, "Okay." So
Yeah, I did like the T-shirt.
I thought I'd wear one for the live stream.
Yes.
Because it was there.
Yeah.
And I guess not everybody goes out to work on oil platforms and the stuff that I did.
Nope.
It's certainly very interesting.
Mm.
Lots of chopper rides, lots of helicopters, lots of training to do that. And it's a long process to get offshore.
Because you have to do the what is it? You have to do like the emergency training.
So you have to do the emergency training to get out of the helicopter.
Yeah. And if you're on the oil rig, don't you have to get into some special boat kind of thing that shoots you into the water that goes off, and it goes
in different sectors in the North Sea. So for the Norwegian sector,
because I remember you telling me like years ago,
you have to get extra training on like a skyfall shoot.
Yeah, that's what.
And you then can, if there's a fire or something, you need to evacuate the platform to the sea. Then instead of going down ropes, you can get into this chute, and it will zigzag you down into the sea. But like the North Sea is that cold that if you don't have the proper equipment, like a proper immersion suit, then you'll die within half an hour. It's just, it saps all the warmth from your body. And most people die because the shock of the water on their chest makes them go into a breathing pattern, which doesn't allow them to fill their lungs and then exhale properly. So when you hit the water, your lungs go into shock and go doing that. It's like a hyperventilation at the top of your lung capacity or the bottom of your lung capacity will sap all your strength, and you'll just drown within minutes. So it's really important to know how to regulate your breathing in cold water environments. I think one of the best things that ever stood to me was diving, because with scuba diving in the North Sea, we get used to dry suits and the coldness of the water on your face, but it's that because your brain gets hit with the shock of cold, and you go like, But after a few dives, you stop doing that because your mind goes, I know what's going to happen. I'm not going to do that. And then we do all sorts of training pre-rig, which is like, it's called the BOSIAT certificate, which is basic offshore training. And you go up to a training facility for a week.
Okay.
And you go in there and you learn all your health and safety on how to access the chopper, and how to walk towards the helicopter, rotor blades.
Yeah, because you have to duck when you go into the...
there's a lot of downforce wind created by the blades. And there's a certain way to walk around, obviously, the tail rotor, because if you get too close to that, you have to go and put your bags into the back of the helicopter or hand them to the guy who's doing that. And there's a certain pattern you walk. And then you walk, you hand your bag off, and then you get onto the chopper and you strap in. But you get like a briefing about all this when you're in the college. And then you go and spend days in the pool training, and they submerge you in a helicopter, and then you've got to hold your breath and then swim out of the helicopter with full kit on. So
do you have to?
And they turn it upside down as well. So they put it into the water, turn you upside down, so you're upside down, underwater, holding your breath, and then the diver underwater will say, "Okay, go."
So there's
then
like
you have
divers
to-
there
yeah,
to make sure that
yeah, because some people panic, don't they?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then
everyone would when it's the first go. Well, not everyone, but
really,
some people.
some people.
If they have a fear of water and stuff.
So I was diving at that stage, and I was also doing a bit of free diving. So I kind of exited the helicopter, rolled me over, exited the helicopter. The first time I went out the back end, and they turned around to me and said, "You can't do that." And I was like, "Yeah, I could," because I did. They said, "No, reality, the back of the chopper is closed, so you have to exit the window."
Yeah.
Or you have to exit.
So would you actually have to? So would the doors be locked, like closed, and you'd actually have to open the doors or break out?
In real life, they would most
Yeah.
probably be closed.
Yeah.
Now there are exploding mechanisms on the door that when it hits water impacts, that the doors are blown off so that you can exit. But the windows you have to push out.
Okay. Yeah.
Because obviously the windows are going to stay in place, and they offer an amount of protection. But so you have to go either out a window or out a door, and so I had to do that twice. But the second time I went out the door, and then I swam across to the end of the pool and came up, and the divers were still looking for me. I was like, "I'm here," because I had a decent breath hold the breath for about 2 minutes. So. But that's like.
Would you ever be in, like, on the training? Would you be on your own, or would you be maybe sometimes with a partner, or with someone there as well?
You're not partnered up with anybody, because the fact of the matter is that it's up to you to have your wits about you to exit a helicopter.
Yeah.
Most people will, on a crash, will panic.
Yeah.
And will either try and hold you in or climb over you, or
of course,
their only thought is going to be to get out of that thing.
Yeah.
And you have to take that type of thought process as well.
Because they will use you as a floaty kind of thing. Like they'll
use you as a foothold, to push themselves out the window. In fact, there were some rather robust people just before a load of helicopter crashes in the North Sea, which I was still working out there on the Super Pumas. And a number of people had died of heart attacks after hitting the water, and then they died of a heart attack after they hit the water, because they had died and they hadn't had any lungs, any water in their lungs. So they had stopped breathing by the time, like they were dead by the time they became submerged in water. And they were overweight individuals, and they were like huge, like obese. And they changed the rules for because the helicopter windows were so small, they started taking shoulder measurements of people. and they started excluding people with a shoulder measurement over a certain size because they said, well, you can't get out that helicopter window, and two things are going to happen. One is you're going to get stuck and you're going to die, and then anybody behind you is going to possibly
not
die because they can't get out through
that window.
Window, and you're going to be like, your legs are going to be sticking across the whole carcass. So like it's bad news. So they then introduced a new shoulder measurement, which I'd passed, and that wasn't a problem. But there was a time when a load of helicopters went down in the North Sea, and lots of people died. It was very badly managed. It was down to gearboxes on the props, and they just sheared off and went like plummeted down.
What you know, when you're doing the training in like in the pool or with the helicopter and stuff, let's say you you ran out of breath underwater, what would have been the sign kind of language for can you get me some air, please? Or like to the divers. What would it be?
Just that. Just
okay.
Out of air.
Yeah.
It's out of air. So to a diver, if you go like that, it means you're out of air.
Okay.
In any diving situation, every diver knows that. So they would come along and they would give you a regulator, an octopus regulator to breathe off while they. I mean, there was one guy who got trapped in his seatbelt. He couldn't get out. So he was, and the divers obviously saw him and went, okay, we'll give him a minute. Because they want you to be able to, I mean, things happen. So it's to test yourself, it's to test your ability on how...
like face your fears, kind of trying to...
Test your ability on how you handle a bad situation. And that's going to be as real as it gets, because... Well, when a helicopter hits the sea, it's going to be mangled. There's going to be all sorts of pieces that are going to be twisted metal and stuff. So it's very possible that a seatbelt will get caught or you can't get out. And just thinking about that, they probably should have provided cutting tools so you could cut the seatbelts on trips out. But like we had loads of gear on us, GPS beacons and all sorts of stuff that if we went into the water we survived it, then they would be able to actually pick us up. So that's good. Yeah, there was lots of safety stuff.
Safety precautions.
But then the welder that I worked with in Shell in St. Fergus, he'd tell me stories about when he went out in the 60s, like in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
And it was just ridiculous. There was no... I mean, we had... in summer, we had to have a full layer of clothing underneath our immersion suit.
Really?
And in winter, we had to have two.
Yeah.
But like when you flew over the North Sea in the winter... out of like Shetland Islands going north up towards Norway, 150 miles offshore, and you saw how rough the sea was, you wanted those 2 layers of clothing. I mean, you felt cold just looking at the sea. The last place you wanted to go into was the sea. And the chances of getting picked up in a running sea, it doesn't matter how much gear you have on, how much GPS kit, even if you're in a big yellow suit, with the white water that's running down there, like, you just know it ain't going to happen. So, yeah. But it's life experiences, son.
Yeah.
Now I get excited about putting a tile in a bathroom. Or picking you up on a Saturday and going to... Where did we go today?
Cafe G.
Cafe G!
Yeah.
We love you, Maura. You make the best breakfasts. Yeah. It was cool today, though, wasn't it?
I enjoyed it.
You like those days, don't you?
Yeah.
And then we got some candy cotton grapes and some sable grapes.
Yeah, we've just had some sable grapes.
Sable grapes are the best.
Oh, yeah, not just like 20 minutes ago, maybe 40 minutes ago. I don't
It was
know.
40.
Was it? No.
Just finished half a pack 5 minutes before we went live.
Oh,
Wow, so
thanks for the like.
thank you for the like. Where's the comments?
Yeah, not typing.
Right.
Your dad's pressing.
Typical me. Daddy, you don't have to say it, it was
I was
typing.
just about to say that.
But I like saying stuff,
Mm.
you know? So, yeah, if you want to know more about offshore and certainly the UK, then I could absolutely do a video on that.
Just explaining. Yeah.
Just explaining where you need to go, what certification you have to get.
Yeah.
And I suppose the only thing is that you're not on green energy, although you still have to do all that certification with Aussiet and stuff to go for the installation of wind farms, and you have to do extra certification. And there's a lot of mechanical building, like putting together all the stuff with bolts and cranes and riggers and banksmen and all that stuff. So there's a great job market there, as long as it doesn't fail in this next, well, because economies are possibly going to fail.
Yeah.
But like my rotational shift was usually 2 weeks on the platform and then 2 weeks off, and it's a really, really kind of nice way to live. Yeah, you work hard while you're on the platform. There's no drink. There's no alcohol whatsoever. No drugs for obvious reasons, because you have to be compos mentis at all times. There are musters at like given points in the day and the night. Doesn't matter if you're on night shift or day shift. And the whole idea is that if something happens on the platform, that you can get to your muster point in the shortest amount of time with your gear, your survival gear, not your laptop or your phone, or you leave all that stuff behind. All you do is you grab survival gear, which fits you, which is your the suit that you get on to the helicopter with. It's like a dry suit. And then you get a life jacket out of your survival bag. And you go to your muster point and you suit up and put boots on, because they've got it's a survival suit with socks.
Yeah.
And you grab gloves, and then you will sign in on the muster register. And you'll do that like once or twice every single trip.
Really?
Yeah, and if you're on a new platform, then the muster guy will take you on a tour of all the muster stations. And you don't have to get to, you're designated a muster point, but you can go to any muster point and sign in, because the fact of the matter is that if a pathway is blocked because of an explosion or something like that, or a fire, then you have to know where your next muster point is. And the whole idea is to get signed into the muster point and then get on either an escape vessel, which are strapped inside of the platform, and then they're released into the water at a vertical angle. So that's the best way to exit. But you can also exit by just using ropes to get off the platform if you can't get to one of those points. So Michael Rice, yes, of course.
Have you subbed first?
Michael, Do you know what the question is?
But have you
Yes, well, we can check that, can't we?
Yeah.
Because my sub count now, Michael, is so low that I know what it is every day I wake up.
Oh, it was 270.
It's 270 this morning.
So,
I sold a sub to a guy yesterday.
did you?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
I went to see his floor,
Mm.
and it was an engineered wooden floor which was put in by his cousin.
Mm.
And it went horribly, horribly wrong because he didn't do the prep work.
Mm.
And so, oh,
It's actually slash.
well, I should be too, but I mean, I'll check now. How about I check right now?
You can just click on the profile.
Can I?
Yeah, you can just click on the profile. So no, like this, the picture, and it should bring. It only does with comments. It only does with the actual comments. No, that's just the photo. When you've actually got a.
But anyway, how y'all day going? Wow, that's definitely American. My day is going great. I have finished work for the week. I am I'm just happy. It's God, work's finished, man.
Yeah.
It's like the best thing ever. You know, when you finish a week of work and I haven't really had any complications this week. Nothing that's completely and utterly flummoxed me so much that I'm going to bed and I'm trying to figure out how to sort it out the next day, and you know, those kind of days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had that. To me is a relaxing week when I can get one of those weeks of work that hasn't done my head in completely. Then that's cool. I like those weeks, and I'm in good health. I haven't got COVID. I believe President Trump and Melania Trump have COVID.
Yep, they do.
And they're going to hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a bad week. When your health is in danger, that's a really bad week.
Yeah.
How is your day going, Michael? What is happening with you? Question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here we are doing like a live stream. I never thought, 3 weeks ago, a month ago.
I've just woke up.
Yeah, well, you're stateside then. You've got to be in America. I am absolutely positive I have subbed to you, Michael. Absolutely positive.
Let's have a look.
Because I gotta have one of those. I'll have to get one of those people in the corner, like Joe Rogan has. You know, can you look that up for me?
We'll just have a double monitor, like a little monitor at the side for comments, checking comments. Yeah. But yeah.
Listen to you.
Yeah, it's 10 a.m.
10:43 a.m. So are you on the east coast of America or the west coast? You must be on the east coast then, or east side, or central. Right, so here's my subs.
That's to view your videos.
Yes, to view my videos. You're right.
So just go on YouTube and then search in Michael Rice.
How did you get so clever at this stuff?
Because I've been watching YouTube for a long time. Michael Rice, that is. And then the picture should be what this picture is next to your profile. To do Michael, is it, how do you spell mine? Is it Rice? Oh, I'd say put them all in caps locks.
East side.
Yeah, put them all in
Okay.
caps, and then it will show you. It should show you the.
I'm going to copy this out.
Yeah.
This is easier, Michael. Trust me. A little bit of faith. We got X Factor coming up here. Subscriptions.
That's just what you subscribe to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I Okay, so east side of America. That's cool. What do you do, Michael?
And a new viewer.
And we have a new viewer. So that's we're almost at record-breaking points on the streams of 2 viewers.
Say hello.
And 1 like. And we know the like came from Michael, so thank you very much for that. And you know, every little sort of word that's typed or interaction is, I believe, a lot of effort. It shows interest.
Yeah,
it's
well,
cool.
you're taking that time out of your time to
say hi to us.
Say hello.
So we appreciate it a lot. What do you do, Michael? What do you work at? I was kind of explaining what I was doing like a few years ago.
He's been here the whole time.
I actually had a thing pop up on one of my social media posts telling me that I was in Bora Bora 5 years ago.
I'm a father, a YouTuber, I do music, and I manage at a store. I'm manager.
And you're a manager at a store.
At a store. Oh wow.
Well, I'm a father too. Legally, he's half mine. The bad half belongs to his mother.
Yeah.
And I have my own business, which I run. Very, very small business. It's just me most of the time. I do bathrooms and kitchens and renovations for my sins, but it keeps me pretty fit. And I actually really like the point of changing somebody's, space at home, that they really enjoy it. I enjoy doing that part. So that's what I like. And it gives me a skill set, and I'm always learning something new. There's always new products coming out in the market. The tools now compared to like 15, 20 years ago are absolutely amazing. So much easier to use. Cordless tools than, the big, heavy corded tools that we'd have to lump around transformers and all sorts of things. Gosh. I gotta find that.
Is that nothing?
I'm sure we see. Why can't they just do a search on that? I remember adding Michael on stage. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that great that you can remember adding somebody?
Yes.
Because you're so small and you remember that person and you were like so happy just to have another subscriber.
Yeah.
And I'm still like 270 people is, when I started this thing, I was like, God, if I get 10 people who subscribe.
Did you subscribe to me? You subscribe to me. That's why I've got 1 subscriber on my channel or my account. I was wondering who subscribed to me. I was like, I don't even make videos.
Of course I would subscribe to you. You're my son.
Oh, I know. So it's just easier to.
Yeah. I know what's happening in the world.
Should just be it will be the picture of what his
I know, but the thing is that his picture on that chat is quite small, so there it is.
Isn't it?
Michael, have you got 983 subscribers?
Let's have a look at what's there. I guess it's not.
Michael, and there's a little baby. Wow, man, you're doing so well. 984 subscribers.
Jeez.
That is amazing. You're just like 15 away from the 1,000. That's incredible. You'll be making money off this thing soon.
Yeah.
Look at that. What's your watch time like? 10.9K. What does that work out in watch time?
No, it's views.
Michael, you've definitely got another subscriber as me. So I'm going to look at your content as well, mate. That looks like a beautiful baby as your profile picture. You obviously work really hard, mate. And thank you for jumping in and saying hi here.
Yes.
That's really good. I can't believe you're like so little off that 1,000, that miracle 1,000.
Yeah.
And then you start like.
Well, I've got a good question. How long did it take you to get like 984 subscribers? Now it's 985. So because of
No, it was 983.
how is it?
So it's now 984.
Oh, that's cool.
And well, thank you for being a sub a long time ago. That's really cool.
That's really good. Yeah, thank you.
I really appreciate that. And I hope you like my content. I guess I wanted to start doing this live stream just to see, because I was kind of aware that I'm not doing the content as punctually for YouTube as I would like to. So setting a time to do a live stream is like, well, then hopefully people will look at that and go, oh, well, if you've got a question on DIY or something like that, that you can just pop in a question there and then when we're streaming and I can answer it for you. Because, I mean, I've done a lot of stuff with a lot of different engineering and heavy engineering background. And, you know, there's ways to do things, and there's good ways and bad ways.
Mm.
And you usually find that the good ways is a process, but it's a process of knowledge, and that always leads to the easiest way of doing it, because you're not trying to correct mistakes at the final part. Because there's nothing worse than trying to correct something that you've messed up at the start, and you're trying to just go, get it in, because you need to get paid and you need the customer to be happy, and it needs to functionally work. And if it doesn't functionally work, then you know the customer ain't going to be happy. And then you know that you're not going to get paid, or you're going to get paid an awful lot less than you'd planned to get paid at the start of the job, which is the worst feeling ever, and nobody wants to feel like that at all. I don't know how people do that. There are some people in life who are very good at just going in and doing like sloppy jobs, and I don't know how to do that. I really don't. But hey, what's the next generation? What's your generation going to be like as,
As what?
craftsmen and tradesmen?
I don't know. Probably have like robots and stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's a good idea. So I've got the robot to do it.
Yeah.
He's better than me.
Artificial intelligence.
Oh my God. Yeah, well, what they'll probably do is they'll reprogram us old people that, they'll give us better bodies and they can work us till about 120 so that this young generation doesn't actually have to do anything. Just reprogram. Give them some more of that. Give them some more of that powder. Protein. Get them on the protein. Build them back up. Stick them in that tube for another month. We'll have them back at 100% for 6 months. Send them back to work. I reckon that's what they're trying to do.
What?
Like Elon Musk with his neural implants. That'd be it. That one part. You don't feel tired. Oh, I don't feel tired of that.
Be quite good if you could
tweak your muscles.
Quite good if you could expand your lifetime. Your life with just implants.
Listen, mate, if I could expand my life with implants, would I do it? Not sure. If I had to work, then no.
No.
If it was a life where I would be able to hand over knowledge and go and explore the world, and I was in full health and I had all my faculties, and things didn't happen, like my eyesight wasn't degrading or my lungs weren't degrading, and I was like in tip-top form, then I'd quite happily live for another 70 years. No problem. Not that I'm 70, just for the record, but I certainly wouldn't want to live like some people I've seen who are alive today at 50 for a miracle, and they're not in good shape. I wouldn't want to be incapacitated. That's really selfish, isn't it?
What?
Not wanting to live as an incapacitated person.
Does that mean you can't do anything?
Yeah.
No.
So yesterday I was down at this guy looking at his floor. Lovely man. And he was an amputee, right, from his knee. He'd lost.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said he was an amputee, so he was the person who worked as an amputee. I didn't know.
No,
I thought that's what he was job. No, because I thought he was the person who chopped off people's legs. Because it would sound like it. Yeah,
No, you
say
thought
like doctors and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
So surgeons chop off legs.
Yeah.
Amputees have their legs chopped off.
Yeah. No, I know.
Or limbs.
Yeah.
And we talked for about 10 minutes, and I said, "Look, I've got to get the elephant out of the room. What happened to your leg?" Because I'm talking to him, but I haven't asked him, and I'm looking at his leg. And I'm going, so my eyes are going down to his leg, then back up to his leg, back up to his leg. And I can't do that for very long. So I'm quite honest and open, and I just said, well, "Tell us what happened to your leg, mate." And he went, "Oh yeah, well about 4 years ago, I was driving to work down this A road, so badly lit. He said, I come across a car accident." And he said, the woman in this car was screaming. And when I stopped my car, there was no traffic. He said, I got out and I went down to the car, and he said, I didn't know what to do at first. He said, because there was no phone signal, he had no phone signal on his phone. It was a rural area. And he shouted to the woman, he said, look, I'm going to drive off and I'm going to find phone signal, I'm going to get help. And she kept screaming. And then he said, I got out of my car and he said I could smell petrol. So he said, I knew there was a petrol leak from her car, and there was a possibility that it could ignite and catch on fire, and then she would die.
Mm.
And he said, I didn't know what to do, because I'd never come across this in my whole life.
Yeah.
And he said, I decided to go down and try and help her out instead of going and phoning the services. And he said, I went down to the car and I was pushing the car, trying to get her out. It was upside down. And he said, next thing, the car rolled back and landed on my foot. And he said, then I blacked out. And I woke up in hospital about 12 hours later. And he said, for 6 months, the surgeons in the hospital tried to save my leg. But it went from bad to worse, and then gangrene set in, and he said I had to have amputated the knee.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just standing there in absolute shock. Because
Yeah.
I was like, how fast can your life change?
I know.
In 2 seconds, by making a good decision, trying to help, being a good Samaritan, trying to help a woman get out of her car
How
in
does
a crash.
I don't get it. How does the car roll over? How does that?
Because he obviously lifted the car up to try and,
Yeah.
with brute force and strength, to try and get this woman out. And then the car rolled back on top of him and got his foot. Like a shard of metal from the car actually went into his foot and cut it, and it got infected. And just...
Yeah.
Anyway, so that man to me is an absolute hero.
Yes.
And I was there to tell him bad news about his floor.
Yeah.
I said, I feel really bad.
Yeah.
I feel really bad. But your floor's like in terrible shape. It needs to come out. It's the wrong type of flooring for a kitchen. I said, if you spill a pot of water on that, it's going to warp. You're going to have to take it out anyway. Even when you're mopping the floor, if too much moisture goes into the joints, it's going to warp. It's already warping. The subfloor is wrong. God. And so I pulled up my YouTube stream and I said, this is the kind of floor you want. You want porcelain tiled floor. Looks like wood, but it's porcelain, grouted. There's nothing that can affect this, apart from possibly dropping a cast iron pan from about 2 foot in height, and then maybe you'll crack one of the tiles. But then you can always take a tile out and replace it. So, keep a few spare tiles. And he was thrilled with the advice. He was really happy. Oh, I don't know. I said I can't do it for at least 3 weeks. But I was in awe of that man for doing what he did. And even when he turned around and he said, I should have just gone and phoned the services because they would have had the equipment to do it. But he said, Karen, I was so worried for that woman with the petrol. And yet cars, if you know anything about cars have automatic shut-off valves, same as oil platforms. Once they roll over a certain tilt, the whole engine is blocked off. No more fuel can get into that engine. And all the electrics are usually shut down so that there's no spark.
Mm.
because obviously that's happened before.
Yeah.
That cars roll over, a little bit of petrol spills, and then it ignites and then it becomes a fireball, kills the person. So after lots of experiences in that regard from history, they've come up with examples of how to stop that happening. So they're called solenoid valves, which automatically go into shutdown mode as soon as a car impacts or rolls over. That's why many cars, as soon as you crash them, they won't start. You have to release all the valves to allow the fuel to start flowing again. And people go, oh, it's broken beyond repair. Mechanics going, yeah, it's just scrap now. And they take it to a garage, plug in the little thing, and they go, open valves, click, 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 clunk, 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 clunk. Petrol flows, engine works. They bought it for 500 quid off the woman who's like a £20,000 car, and they'll sell it for 12. It's all those things that you learn through life. But hey, we've had 2 viewers almost the whole time. Michael, I wish you the very, very, very best of luck with your channel. It looks as if you're almost there. You're almost about to make money, mate. Wow, what a time. What a time on this earth that we as people can have our own, like, our own programs, man. This would be classified as having your own chat show. It would. And I've got a special guest, Sander, my son, who has to listen to me for the next hour. How do you do it, son? How do you actually sit there and listen to me with a smile on your face?
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yes.
But you'll probably have a much more interesting life than me. You know?
I don't know.
I remember, right? I remember coming out of Ireland, leaving Ireland at 18 years of age on my first plane. And I was so excited on that runway.
Really?
Oh my God, it was nuts.
Yeah.
18 years of age, never been on a plane, and it was an up-down flight. It was like, by the time it climbed to the right cruising height, it leveled out for a little bit like that.
Yeah.
It went down and landed in London. But the speed, the whole thing for me was the acceleration on the tarmac.
Yeah.
I'd never gone that fast in my life.
No.
You know the acceleration off the tarmac, and it goes like they're hitting about 90 miles an hour when they're lifting off.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, this is great. I loved that. I'll always remember it. First flight out of Cork Airport to London. And then the first time I ever came back was on a bus. I came back via the bus.
Wait, from London?
From London to Fishguard.
Oh, is it not?
Fishguard to Cork or something like that.
Yeah. Were you going
then
back
another
to Ireland?
bus. Yeah. Back to see my dear old dog Rex, who was very, very ill, and my parents said to me, "You need to come back because she's going to die, and we have to bring her to the vets." So I made the trip back to say goodbye to my dog. Very sad. I was really sad. Love that dog.
The thing in life is you get in touch to animals and
and humans sometimes as well. Like I'm a little bit attached to you. Yeah, you get attached to it.
I once had a hamster.
Yeah.
Called him Trevor.
Trevor the hamster. Oh God, yeah, I remember walking in. Have you cleaned the hamster out?
Yeah.
I still say that. Yeah,
Well,
it's cleaned out.
I do.
It's been dead like 5 years, but it's cleaned out.
Not that long. I think he only passed away probably about a year and a half ago.
Then you killed your rabbits. I like those rabbits.
They just, I don't know what happened with them. They just, yeah. Can't remember. What was it? So I was coming back from school, and my mum in the car broke the news that Disney, that was my, I guess, favourite rabbit of them both, but still, I obviously love them both. But so yeah, then he passed away, and then the day after that, my mum, when I was coming back from school, broke the news that Coco passed away, and yeah. So,
And you're having chicken for tea tonight, Alexander. It might taste a bit strange, a bit meatier.
how's chicken and
Chicken's very close. Like chicken was close to rabbit.
not really. Not really.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe.
But yeah.
We had rabbits. I had rabbits as a kid. I had a rabbit called Smokey.
I remember taking my rabbit into the lounge, and because the way to get it into the lounge, I had to put it into like a bag to so it didn't like run, because I was young then and I couldn't really pick it up and carry it.
Plastic bag, Sam, was it?
and what is it? I picked the rabbit up and put it into the bag, but I couldn't get the full, like just the rabbit. I had to get some of the sawdust in there. So I dumped the whole sawdust and poo and stuff onto the lounge floor, because that was the only way I could get the rabbit out. So there's just a pile of yeah, yes. And then the thing that still that no, it's just quite funny to laugh at is when I buried my hamster. Obviously it's sad, but the thing that made me laugh a little bit is the hamsters. I buried my hamster in his little house and buried him in a bag for life bag. So you put the house and then put a bag for life around them, so it's nice and warm and stuff. That was ages.
That's the sort of stuff you think of, like when you're small. Though it's like, keep them warm.
Yeah,
bag for life. That'll help them out.
But yeah, and that was only a year and a half ago, so I was probably like 12 or something. But still,
Was that only a year and a half ago?
I think so. I think it wasn't too long ago. But then again, think how fast some years go.
I don't know where this one's got.
I think this has gone quite slow this year.
This is going to be. I mean, I'm really looking forward to Halloween, but I always love Halloween.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything's going to happen at Halloween.
No.
I hope we can still go to Ireland though.
Yeah, when were we going to Ireland?
I think it's around 29th of October.
Was it? Oh.
Supposedly. We have 3 people viewing this.
Then again, about COVID and stuff.
We've broken our record!
Hi there. Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
Learn with Raza.
Yeah. Have you subbed?
Raza has, yes. We've had conversations before with Raza.
That's cool. Have you liked the video? You liked it?
I'm pretty good.
Liked it?
Yeah. Raza's pretty good at throwing up a like and a comment. Thank you very much.
That's cool. But yeah, I was talking about Ireland. Just thinking.
Yeah, it would be kind of good to go. But hey.
Wasn't that the week off I have school, wasn't it?
Well, let's not do specific dates because it's.
I don't know, obviously. But I wasn't. That's what
I think it's going to be cancelled anyway because the restrictions won't allow the insurance policy wouldn't allow.
I can't have 3 weeks off because it would be
no, and then you have to do 2 weeks quarantine and come back.
And then
I can't do that.
No.
So sorry, sister. if you're watching,
Yeah.
we're not sure yet. We've gone 1 hour.
Oh yeah. Didn't even think about that. Talking.
It's an hour of talking. And we haven't had any refreshments, have we?
No. Well, I think we'll end the stream mode.
I think we'll end the stream now,
Yeah.
and then we're going to do
But yeah.
another one tomorrow at 3:15
Yeah.
because we want to test that camera.
Yeah. And if when we finish this, if we learn how to stream like games and stuff, hopefully, fingers crossed, we might do a game together, like playing a game, maybe.
Yes, and watch me die. I have no idea how to do that, son. But
no,
I know
not
how
like
to die in a game.
Not like
Hi,
yeah.
Alexander, shoot me.
Not like Fortnite or something, but just a game.
A game like what?
Not like I'm thinking. Ooh, horror game or something. Quite good.
What?
Horror game. I don't know. Or puzzle. I don't know. Anyway. Alright.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a really fabulous hour. I've got to go off and study more YouTube stuff to get it all right. And if you want to know anything, like I say,
just
drop it in the comments. You know, I will talk about anything that I know, and I'll probably talk about lots of stuff that I don't know.
Anyway, alright, like, subscribe, and turn the notification bell on. And if that subscribe bell is subscribe button is red, then turn it to make sure it's grey, because that's how you mean it's subscribed. And then make sure the bell is full, so it's
Ting-a-ling.
not. Yeah. Anyway, like and stuff. Make sure the like button's blue, because yeah.
Right, button's blue.
So that's
That thumbs up is blue.
Oh.
Turn that thumbs up blue. Get a comment in.
Yep.
And help us grow. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Ciao for now.
Bye.
Arrivederci.